Good afternoon, everyone. This is a recording for the digital marketing class for the learning the basics of the HTML language, just for the purpose of breaking the ice for digital marketing for digital marketers. Okay, so what I would like you to do, first of all, is to kindly head to your profile. As you can see, this is the Moodle profile. Just go to edit profile. So you go to profile here. Okay, leave, whatever. So you go to profile here, as you can see. Then head to edit profile and use your picture. Use your picture. So if you have already a picture, good. If you don't, please upload a picture here that shows your face. And not any cartoonish picture, just a picture of yourself. So over here, I need to change also my picture. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna click on it. I'm gonna also go to profile. Of course, you created a profile over here, and then edit your profile and choose a photo. And then here you can choose whatever photo. I'm sorry, this is a new computer, so I don't know where this photo is. So I don't have it, but this is the first step for submitting the assignment, and you need to follow the rules. So kindly follow the rules, and then once I can check your identity and match your identity here with your identity on where on Moodle, yeah, then I will be able to grade your assignment. Now, once you're done with the tasks over here, you should have a 16% what do we call it, like achievements, like, or you achieve 16% progress on the course. And I need you, once you're done, you should be able to get to this page. All right, and then take a screenshot. This computer, I think it's in the newer Windows. It's a Windows button, Shift and S, and then I need you to, of course, show your identity here that I could match with Moodle and identify or verify the 16% progress. This is copied. You can paste it here on a Word document. If you are, just for uniformity, everyone, please save as anywhere, save it as a PDF. Actually, not anywhere. I am hoping that you are following my instructions to organize your life, and then on your documents you have something like digital marketing folder, and then a subfolder in it, call it assignments, and then call this assignment 1. This is a very good organization technique. Call it assignment 1 and then call it Nora Sharkassi, for example, by your name on the system. If your name on the system is different than the name that you use with me, like your name is Nicole, for example, or whatever, then add it in between brackets and save the assignment as a PDF. Why PDF? Well, I use Windows, but some students use Mac, and it will be a big problem for me to check your corresponding software. So please take a snapshot like that, a beautiful snapshot, a PDF, and submit it into the system. Which system? Of course, our Moodle page. Okay. So now I don't need to go over the Moodle page for submission, I hope. But in any case, you are going to go to your digital marketing course and go under HTML Codecademy material and submission, and of course submit your progress snapshot or screenshot actually with Codecademy progress 16% over here. All right, let's get started. Let's work together. If you would like to reset your progress, this is easy. So I could reset Oh, okay. I recorded a video, but the screen wasn't, my recording program wasn't recording the full screen. So now it seems like, let's see, let's go to start. Gumine, you shouldn't have this problem. You should have reset my progress. You should have it, but in my case, actually, this is where you are going to end your review. Okay, so now this is should be, no, I don't want to go here. Back again. I'm going to go to the syllabus. So this is where you're going to start. Introduction to HTML. We explained last time that a hypertext markup language is one of the first and very few or very early it's on okay, it's very early one of the earliest and easiest programming languages for web development. And over here there are so many different elements like images, videos, paragraphs within the HTML code. The first instruction was, for example, to make sure that you understand which text is actually showing on the output. As you can see here, that text in between the HTML elements is the one that is actually showing on the output on for audience on the web page. So whatever text you're writing in between the HTML element will show as an output. Okay, so let's get started. This is a very nice graph about or chart or yeah, graphical representation of the anatomy of the HTML element. This element, as the name implies, it is a paragraph element. It starts with an opening P tag and a closing paragraph tag. So this is an opening tag, this is a closing tag, and whatever in between is a content, a text that the audience will be viewing. And the whole thing is called an element. So study this, read this on your own time, and go to next. All right. Now, an HTML web page, any web page in this universe is just an HTML web page. It is just like the human anatomy. It has a head and a body. The difference between the head and the body is that the head is just a code that doesn't show any of its text or content on the website, on the web page. The only thing that shows is in fact this Learn HTML Code Academy, the name on the tag, the browser tag here. So this is course digital marketing, Learn HTML elements, blah blah blah. This shows and this is a tag that is called the title, the title tag, and this is the only tag under the head HTML tag in a website or for any web page that will show and the audience will see it. Other than that, you won't see anything. I will tell you in due course what other code that is very important under the head tag that you would use, like global tags and like Google, how to connect to Google Tag Manager or Google Analytics. It's through a code that you add under the head tag. Under the body tag, all the code that needs what? That needs search engine optimization. So most of the code or most of the content or the elements that needs an optimization so that your website or web pages, certain web pages will rank high on when triggered by search terms, certain search terms. Like for example, I'm searching for brown bear. So there are certain elements that would actually optimize or the design of it will optimize your web page for better visibility. So we start any HTML tag with the body tag, and then the closing tag is identical to the opening tag except for the forward slash. Except for the forward slash. Not all HTML tags has an opening and closing tags. Some tags are self-closing tags, and we're going to get into this in due course. So under the body tag, as you can see, there's a paragraph tag called What's Up Doc. And so this is something very, I think, American pop culture. So in any case, this is an example of an HTML paragraph element within the body. All right, so here under the body, to add the body tag element, so all what you need to do is type in body and type in also body and the forward tag, and then after you typed in everything, yeah, hit the enter key. So let me show you, for example, there is a little for this only Code Academy, so here's body tag, and then I will type in body tag with the closing tag, and it's a good practice. You could actually run the code as is, or for a good practice you can hit enter. What's the difference between hitting enter? So for example, I did the body here, and I want to for a closing tag, I say, okay, if it's a good practice to just add the closing tag on the next line, I'm just going to start the next line. Look what happens. The next line doesn't start from the very beginning. So make sure that you either go all the way back, 2 spaces back, and then write body, yeah, closing tag, or just do as I do. Just type in body and the closing tag and then hit enter. So this is called indentation, and we're going to talk about it in due course. All right, so this is all what you need to learn right now, that most of our search engine optimization happening in the body, in between the opening and closing body tags. All right, HTML structure. There's other structures, more advanced structures than the ones that we're going to discuss here, but for just simplicity, I'm going to go for explaining the very simple and most common ones. So one of the most important ones are the heading. Why are they important? Well, for me as a digital marketer, they are important because usually you telling me with the first heading, the heading of the page, what is it about? Of course, this seems to be the first page. It's a welcome page. So it says hello world, but this is a very common saying when this is the first thing that you print with any programming language. It's just something that is very common in the programming world. But as a web developer or a web content or marketing content a creator, what you need to make sure is that you optimize for certain keywords. So if you're talking about bears, it's a little bit different. You can just focus on the word bear. But if you're talking about a brown bear or a brown bear, then it is the brown bear kind of keywords that you want to focus on. So the headings tell the crawler, the bot, it tells the crawler or the bot which themes the website is about. All right, so this is nothing but for crawling purposes, and also for user experience. UX is a short for user experience, which is how comfortable are you as a user reading that whatever content and browsing whatever content on the website. But for digital marketers for now, for the sake of search engine optimization, we should also care about the user experience starting from 2021, 2022. But let's focus just a little bit about the basic and most important HTML tags for search engine optimization, which is the heading tags. The heading tags, as you can see, there's other tags also. There's the paragraph tag, just basically you add any content with a paragraph. So you can, I advise you that you type in this. Your system won't have the added paragraphs. I am not going to waste your time by me typing and you're going to type the same content. So here's the instruction, says add the paragraph below a child of the div element. Oh, yeah, sure. This part is talking about the parent and the child. So I want to introduce something to you. It's called indentation. Indentation, or the indentation, or as you can read here, it's two spaces before the beginning of the line. So as you can see, this is the parent, and it seems that the heading tag starts after two spaces. This means this is a child of the body, and so is the paragraph, which is a child for the body. The div is also a child for the body, and it closes also at the same level after two indentation. But this is a child of the div, which is a child of the body, so it will start two spaces from the beginning of the div, and of course, because the div is a child of the body, that will add two more spaces. All right, so that is very interesting. Here you just need to add the following. You need to copy this. Don't copy the whole thing, please. Copying the whole thing won't help you. You need to type in paragraph and then copy in between and close the tag, just for practice experience. Now so first of all, we talked about the parent and the children. So the children are two spaces indented away from the beginning of the line, and headings are very important for social media. Why? For search engine optimization as well, because it tells us what is the main themes, what are the topics that are covered, what are usually they carry the most important keywords, the keywords. So these are the keywords that if somebody is searching with the term a brown bear, then my keyword here is highlighted because it's in the heading 1. As you can see, similar to writing a thesis, the heading 1, as you can see, is the bigger font, and then the subtitles about brown bears, general information or background about brown bears, is in a heading that has a smaller font, but they are all bolded. So as we can see, all headings are bolded, and this is no joke. For digital marketers and for good design, you start with heading 1, then next in line is heading 2. Then if you have subheadings, if it's a hierarchy, this is the on top of the pyramid, then you have about brown bears, then you have habitat, then you have media. So these are the three main categories. So brown bear will be on the top of the pyramid, then you will have about brown bear in the second layer, habitat in the also side to side, and then side to side is also media. Under each and every one of them, you will have subtitles as well. So how are we gonna deal with this? This text will be put in between heading 1. This is in between heading 2. Don't skip any heading. I added here some spaces for readability for you. And then this will be heading 3. And now I would like you to read this material and follow the instructions. It just tells you go and add heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. But what they don't tell you is that in digital marketing, it's very important that you don't skip headings. Heading 1, this is the top, main keyword, then these are the details, the subheadings about brown bear, and these are the subs for this one, and this is habitat, and this is its titles, and this is media. Most of the time, you guys, if you start working with this and ignore listening to my video, up to you. Hopefully you will listen to what I say first, because it makes more sense. Here it just tells you technically add this, add this, add this. But as a matter of fact, as a content developer, you will have this already kind of pinned down, kind of sketched down on a piece of paper or on Word document or whatever software you're using, and then you are going to implement whatever instructions the system will tell you. All right, after knowing now, so far, what did we learn? We learned that first, body tag is the most important, or the HTML web page, just like consistent with the anatomy of a human body, it has a head and a body. The head, we're going to talk about it in due course on on-site optimization kind of lectures. And the body also, we're going to talk about it in more details. But most of the time for digital marketers, for search engine optimization, we focus on HTML elements under the body tag. So this is the first thing that we've learned. The second thing that we've learned is that in HTML, like in any other programming language or most of the programming languages nowadays, even in Python, you have a parent-child concept. So this is the parent. The parent starts with no spaces whatsoever, but the child starts 2 spaces away, and so on. Good? Good. Now, and we have of course learned that every opening tag, most of the time, every opening tag has a closing tag. We also learned that don't skip the heading, H1, H2, H3. This tells the crawler can't read this and can't see the different fonts that is already embedded into heading 1, that is bigger font than heading 2, than heading 3. The crawler will understand that brown bear, I have about brown bear, and about brown bear talking about species, features, and I also have in the second layer habitat, and then under this there's countries with large brown bear populations, with small bear population. Got that? All right, next. Now let's talk about what really matters for digital marketers. For digital, this is doesn't really matters for digital marketers, the divs. This is a new tag. It's called the div or division tag. So you see, now you can guess what div stands for. This div tag stands for division. So it divides, but actually it's a container. It's more than what the name implies, dividing. It is actually grouping. It's grouping all these together because we want to style them in a certain style, not because they semantically have the same meaning or the same theme. We use section. So for digital marketers and for search engine optimization, the section tag is more important for us for optimization than the div tag. The div tag, we actually group these together so that we can give them a certain style. What is a certain style here? We can also style the div element as a whole by adding a kind of attribute that connects us to some external sheet other than this HTML page. As you can see, this page is called index.html, so it's an HTML extension. It's an HTML type of page, and this is CSS is nothing you need to worry about right now, but it stands for Cascade Styling Sheets, or Cascade Style Sheet, and this is where all the styling happens, because honestly the crawler has a certain budget to crawl your website, which consists of so many pages, and nobody knows how much budget you have. It depends on how big also your site is. If it's a small site, probably there's a certain percentage, maybe it will be read all at once. So depending how big your site is, there is a crawling budget. Okay, all right, having this said, we all need to make the life of the crawler or the robot easier by eliminating any unnecessary dross. For the crawler, it is a dross. It's unnecessary. It's a loss of time. It's unnecessary information if this is in red color or in brown color. Not a brown bear, but in black or red or blue. So this is a kind of styling that you can add to the div element by connecting it to a Cascade Styling Sheet. So it takes time. So in order not to read font size equal to color of the font equal to blue, something like that, instead of wasting the time of the crawler reading all this information, you can just connect this div to a certain styling sheet, Cascade Styling Sheet, and then the whole thing will be formatted on the basis of the code written in this external sheet. So this is a quite now interesting concept to learn. that time is money, not only for human beings, but also for crawlers. And we need to make the crawler's time or life easy so that the crawler will love us and will also do much more with whatever time they have on our site, whatever crawling budget that they have on our site. So this is why we have something like div, okay? But for grouping these together because they all have the same theme, these together because they all have the same topic or theme, we use a different HTML element. It's called a section. So please follow the instructions here. The instructions, if you follow them, it's so technical, but I don't want you to lose track of the bigger picture. We're just gonna tell you add this and then add h2 this, add h2 this, but actually what you're doing is you're adding topics and subtopics together, and now you are grouping them together. But for digital marketing purposes, for us to tell the crawler that these all belong to the same theme or the same topic or whatever, especially if you have a very sophisticated structure of topics on your web page, then you use something similar to div, which is section instead. And then this is how you do it. You start a div here and you end that tag here. You are grouping all these together, then you are grouping all these together. And well, there's only one element, but you can also add a div here so that you can style it in a certain way. Okay. Now every HTML tag here or element could take an attribute. An attribute consists of two main components or made up of two main parts. The first is the name of the attribute and also the value. The way we do it, one of the very popular attributes for the div attribute, of course there is an attribute that connects us to the CSS, but there is one called the ID. ID is equal to, so the name of the attribute is ID, and then we give it or assign a value to it, which is introduction. So over here, lovely people, we're gonna add this attribute ID and assign a value to it. So at this stage, now you understood that there is a parent, there is a children, and the div or the section, the corresponding also a similar tag is section. They group the elements together. Either div is for the purpose of styling them similarly, or the section, we group them together so that they, or we signal that they have the same topic, or they belong to the same topic, or they are all grouped under the same topic, and so on. Okay, so this is what we are learning over here. Of course, the instructions just tell you add an ID here, an ID there, but in fact what you're doing is you can use this ID elsewhere to connect to all these or apply certain styling to all these elements within the parent div. So it's very important that we make the indentation. So anything under the parent div with the ID introduction would be given certain styling in the very separate styling sheet that we understood that this sheet is just because the time of the crawler is very crucial. So I'm repeating the things that are the takeaways. Displaying text is easy with HTML. Basically, it's through paragraphs. So over here, you can add a whole paragraph. So please do not copy. Okay, good. So please add the paragraph tag, the opening paragraph tag, then copy this by Ctrl+C, because if you make any spelling mistake or whatever, then you might get into unnecessary and a very avoidable trouble, because this class is not about typing text. So just get the cursor anywhere and land it anywhere on any word and double click. So sometimes you need to double click and then again a click. So here double click and another click, you were able to highlight the necessary needed text, Control C for copy, and then paste it here, and you will be done in no time. But hopefully now you understand that this is the paragraph element, and it's very important for adding longer content or text. Styling text. Styling text is not important for me as a digital marketer, but it's good also still for the user experience. Two very important, the idea here that I want to get you to understand is you can nest, just like how parent and the child, you nest the child under the parent. Over here you don't nest, but you embed, or you put in or in within, or build in within. You just include in within this paragraph tag different other tags. You see here's the opening tag of the strong tag and the closing tag of the strong tag. All right, what does the strong does? I think it makes it bold, while we have, because it makes it strong, while we also have another tag called emphasize, EM. So EM stands for emphasize, and it makes the text italic. So over here, the first instruction is to make this italic. So basically you need to add the emphasize tag in to the text, and it is within the opening and closing tag of the paragraph, and you will see that the text is actually italic. The second piece of instruction is going to tell you, please make this bolded. So this piece of text makes it make it bold, so, or bolded. So you add strong and you close the strong. Then I would like to introduce now another piece of interesting facts about HTML. As I said, not all tags have a closing tag. Very popular tag is to add a new line. So you can add a new line or break the paragraph by using break, the break tag. So this is a tag that doesn't have a closing tag. It's just a standalone tag, I call it. So over here, this paragraph, for example, as you can see, have a break here. So it will show the Nile River is the longest river. Then it will break. Then it will give me in the world measuring the this and this and that. And then it is going to give me a break. And then it's going to give me another break. So it's going to look like this, you guys, every time you break it. I don't know why anybody would want to use this number of breaks, but this is just for illustration purposes, I believe. So over here, add 2 breaks and see what happens. After least concern, yes. So after the least concern, you need to add these 2 breaks, and you will see that the first break, if you added it, it will start in a new paragraph. Let me show you. It's going to prompt me an error, but I want to show you what's happening here. So this is a 1 break, and if you add another break, then, and of course run the code, you will have a blank line, or a blank new line. All right, so what's next? So this is very interesting. Over here we learned that there is kind of just a self-sustained kind of opening tag. It doesn't need a closing tag, which is the break tag. Okay, so a very important thing also for highlighting the main points or topics, themes shown on a web page is the lists. We have 2 kinds of lists. We have an unordered lists or an ordered list. So in contrast to the ordered list that has 1, 2, 3, 4, so the elements of the list starts with the numbers. This is why it's called an ordered list. The unordered list, on the other hand, it's just bullet points, and also the default bullet point is a circle. Can I change the shape? Yes, you can add an attribute to change the type of the bullet. Okay, so in any case, for you to create a unordered list, you start with the U, unordered, and L stands for list, and the closing tag. And then for each and every element under this list, you need to start with a list item tag, li, and the closing tag for the list item tag. All right, once you do that, you will have a populated or an unordered list of 4 items as asking you here to do in the instructions. Now, these are important because the crawler can easily know that these are also main keywords in your content. Ordered lists, on the other hand, is the same structure, but instead of using the UL, the unordered list tag, you're using the, of course, in contrast to using the ordered list tag. And then under the ordered list tag, you can also add 1, 2, 3, Russia, United States, and Canada, and it will look like this: 1, 2, 3. Good. So please follow the instructions and come back to me. I haven't talked about here concept review. You don't have to go over this, but if you would like to enhance your knowledge with HTML, and it's optional and it's personal, I do not request this or recommend that you spend your time on this. You have time to do other things and study for other classes. You just don't need to do that. The very important HTML element is an image element. And an image element is a self-closing tag, and it closes itself like this. So you started by adding img, stands for an image. You open that, an img, and it is a must to add this attribute. If you don't add this attribute, the code will prompt you an error. It will return an error. So basically, you need img tag, image tag, and it is a self-closing tag, as you can see with the / and you add an attribute called source, src attribute. This is the name, src, the name of the attribute, stands for source, and of course the value either in double quotes or in between single quotes. You add the value of this attribute, and the value of this attribute, as you can see, is the location, the image location, the URL. So in the instructions, it's giving you here this HTML. If you put this HTML on any browser, you will actually see this picture. Oh, it's so sad. So in any case, this is a JPG image, and this JPG image is stored somewhere on the server of the Codecademy. So guys, what we need to do is we are going to create an image here, media. As you can see, we're going to add this img, and we add the source equal. I used single quotes, but you can use double quotes, up to you. It both works, and you can copy the source. This source is a technical must. What is also a must for search engine optimization for digital marketers is the ALT attribute, not only the source attribute. It's a must for me as a digital marketer to add an alternative text. As you can see, vision impaired individuals can't see the images. So you need to describe the images as a digital marketer the best way possible. And usually if I want to hire any, for example, interns for a very early stage tasks with digital marketing, it's going to be to develop a talent of describing this image. So after you added the source, which is given to you, you are going to add the alternative description. Now come up with your own description, and I don't want your description to be the brown bear. This is not a very good description, because the brown bear, here's other images about brown bear. Here, brown bear. So here, brown bears, it could be this image, it could be this, it could be this, it could be a cartoonish image, in fact. So if a person is unable to see the image for whatever reason, maybe blind and so on, then, well, he or she will have their own structured image in mind, but you are not guiding that structured image in their mind. So you need to guide it. You need to say, this is a face of a brown bear, looks to be a little sad. It's showing the part of the midsection part, only 25% of the upper, or only the upper midsection. That shows the shoulders, or maybe the arms stretched down, and seems like the bear is in its natural habitat, green natural habitat. So I have now a better image constructed that is matching the image that you're showing on your screen. And this is a better description also for the crawler. Okay, so it can match the appropriate keywords for that. All right, how about videos? Videos are also very important. Why? Because in general, adding different media, which is text, types, image, or video, is very important for search engine optimization. Now, the video tag starts with an opening tag and a closing tag. And again, it is a must to have a source attribute. The source attribute here is the name of it, the SRC, let me say, attribute. It stands for source, and it will be given the URL of the video stored. And you can also have the width, the height, even though there are kind of default and controls. Try writing the code with no controls, and this is and take a look what is missing. In fact, this will be missing. The play control, the sound control, make it a full screen, and so on. So this is controls, and as you can see, controls is not engulfed or is not enclosed in between singular or double quotes. All right, so now you can easily see how to add a video. So image is a self-closing. Why? Because this is the way it is. It's by design of the language, but video needs a closing tag. How does image close itself? Closes itself with only just a forward slash at the angular bracket on the far right, like the closing angular bracket. And then it is very essential for both image and video to have a source attribute, which is populated by the URL of the image or the video. Also, for a video, it's very crucial to add controls. There is also a text that we usually add in between the opening and closing tag. Video not supported nowadays. Well, most web browsers have the Flash and necessary script so that it will show the videos, and the internet connection is just good enough to show the videos, and we probably will never see video not supported on any web page. And you guys, this is it. Then read the review, and as don't go over this video. This is you can go over it. It's just you're gonna learn that there are more advanced structures, I think, like frames and so on. You just finish up to here, and you've learned so far 16%. So up next, you say skip for now, and then you will land on this page. Oh, go minne. Then go to Codecademy. I'm sorry. Then you will land on this page. You have 16% to progress. You will have your picture that matches your picture on Moodle, and then, as I said earlier, just take a screenshot. If you don't know how to take a screenshot, you can just make sure that you scrolled all the way up, and also take the Windows key, and there is a print screen, which looks like PRT, print screen. Oh wait, print screen button on keyword, because I can't show you my keyword. So I'm going to show you images here. So PRT screen doesn't show very well. This image isn't good, but well, most of you maybe knows PRT SC, print screen, okay? PRT, SC on the very top of the keyword. This very top part. On the very top part, you hold down the Windows key or the function and hit print screen. Some has it in here. You see it in the older keywords. Gomen, I don't need to go all the way there. I just wanted to show you. Let's see if I can show you. Here, print the screen, systric. Okay, there's other keywords that shows it like that. In any case, if you don't want to follow or if your system is different than mine, I usually hit the Windows Shift and S together, and then I'll be able to take a screenshot that shows my picture, that matches my picture on Moodle, and take the screenshot and make sure that you don't change your picture on Moodle until 1 month after the semester is over, so that when I grade, I usually grade the assignments after the semester is over. So please complete this assignment, take the snapshot, paste it on a Word document, save as the Word document as a PDF in your nice folder on my documents, and you are done for today. And this is the material for the makeup class for the September 12th. Cancel the class. Thank you so much. Take care. I'll see you in class on Friday.